My name is John Whitener. I am the principal tuba of the Royal Scottish National Orchestra, and I'm here at the Royal Albert Hall tonight for Classic FM Live. I'm here with my Cimbasso. It is an Italian instrument invented by Verdi. Verdi had a great dislike of the tuba. He absolutely hated it, thought it was Bavarian nonsense. And he went to an instrument maker in Italy wanting to create a bass voice that was like a trombone sound, but in the tuba register. And so worked with that maker, and there was things sort of like it before, but this is sort of what they came up with. It sounds very much like a trombone, but really sort of gritty and girthy, but not the sort of ooh of a tuba sound. You might not recognize what the Cimbasso looks like, but I am sure you've heard it before. Especially if you've been to any Verdi operas, you will certainly have heard it there. But probably most people have heard it and not known what it was. It's in a lot of film soundtracks. If you've ever watched a horror film or an action film or something like that, and you hear this little whap sort of sound, that will almost certainly be a Cimbasso. In fact, there was in Lord of the Rings, they had videos of the brass section backstage, and you had 4 tubas and 4 Cimbassos all in a row sitting next to each other, making an absolutely almighty racket. It was great. And as in the arsenal, we're starting to do some more film soundtracks, I decided to get my own Cimbasso. You'll most often hear this instrument, the Cimbasso, in operas, particularly in Verdi operas as his instrument, but also Puccini wrote for it quite a lot, as well as for tuba. And it'll have this sort of bottom sound to the brass section. It makes a really sort of bright sound rather than a sort of covered tuba sound that you might be familiar with. So let me play a few bars for you, particularly the Nessun Dorma that we're doing tonight. It'll be at the very end of that, so I can play some of that. But first, just a couple of notes, give you an idea. So Cimbasso generally plays low, and this is one of the lower notes it plays. Verdi also wrote some higher notes for the Cimbasso. Not super high, but this is sort of a flavor. So the Cimbasso very much plays like any other brass instrument, where you have to take a big breath in and blow air and make a buzz. So, and then you blow it into, this is actually a tuba mouthpiece, believe it or not. You blow it into a tuba mouthpiece, and then it comes out. So that's how you make a sound. Now, if you look at this, you might think it looks more like a space heater than it does an instrument, but it actually has some sense to it. So this is sort of a contrabass trombone. You might recognize this is actually a trombone bell. The guy who made this told me he made this out of a tenor horn bow. So this is the bottom end of a tenor horn before it goes into the bell. These are the valves, and these are very much like tuba valves. So as a tuba player, it's familiar to me because it plays in the same key and it's all the same fingerings. The way the instrument's made, Cimbassos generally are quite tricky with intonation. So this was made so that this is the main tuning slide here, and I push this up and down so that I can raise and lower the pitch, fine tune as necessary so that it blends with everything else going on. That's just lots of fun. I really enjoy it. I've said this to many people, but if I could have a career just playing Cimbasso in film soundtracks, I'd be very happy.